just want to start by first thanking everybody who's here today. We're very excited to kick this project off. Actually, quite a great turnout. I was a little worried this morning when I woke up and I saw the rain. So thank you very much all for coming. My name is Chris Groner. I'm the board member here for the Oregon City District and the campus. And I just want to introduce a few folks, elected officials and board members that are here. I see Jean Bridstrup, if you want to raise your hand, and Greg Chimoff. And I think I just saw Dave Hunt. Oh, there's Dave back there. President Truesdale, of course. Mayor Dan Holliday from Oregon City. And I see Commissioners Martha Schrader and Commissioner Humbleston. Thank you. Are there any other elected officials in the House? If you could at least, Nancy Ide from City of Oregon City. And Brian, Commissioner Shaw. Oh, right there. Welcome all of you. And Representative Mark Meek. Sorry, I looked right at him. I didn't even. So I just want to say thanks once again for coming today. We're excited about the site and the new building. It's one of the 5 projects paid for in our $90 million bond project that voters approved in 2014, and it was supplemented with $8 million from the Oregon State Legislature. The facility will increase student access to affordable education that will allow students to receive training for well-paying careers or transfers to a 4-year university. The ITC will expand facilities for students studying manufacturing, machining, renewable energy, and other in-demand career technical education programs. This state-of-the-art facility will mean students will walk out of here trained to meet current industry standards and also help support and grow the industry partnerships that we've currently got. Working with area industry leaders means we are able to help grow the economy here in Clackamas County. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Jeff Ganz from Lease Crutcher Lewis. Thank you.
Thank you. So Lease Crutcher Lewis, we're not a law firm, we're a contractor, so we're the general contractors. So anyway, we're really glad to be a part of the project. It's already a great team to be here with CCC, Bob's team, with the NISI group, and with OPSIS. Great collaboration so far. We just finished, I'll give you a little insight to what we're doing. We just finished a solid bid process, and it was really good. We had great participation from many subcontractors, and we got good pricing back, which is always a good thing in this tight market, so that's good. Another nice part was that of the bids that we received, over 35% were from Clackamas County, so that really is important. I'm sure as all of us are here, we believe that the education value that Clackamas Community College provides is the best out there, so it's something we totally support. How we do that at Lewis during the construction process over the next year is we'll bring on interns. We'll engage all the students through interns on our project, giving tours, giving classes, educational classes, things like that, so that they are part of what we do. And that whole construction year is what I'm going to give you a little synopsis of what we're going to be doing. So starting in May, about mid-May, we plan to mobilize, and you'll see us over on this side by the tennis courts. And we're going to be demolishing the tennis courts and starting the building footprint there. Once school is over for the summer, then we'll take all of this Barlow parking lot and we'll get this done. The goal is to have that done before school starts in the fall so students have it for parking. And then we'll continue the rest of the year finishing the building, and we plan to be done by the summer of 2018. And the exciting part about us finishing our construction is that the experience for the kids just begins, and it's great. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. And now we'd like to introduce Clackamas Community College instructor Mike Matson and Brad Jekowitz. I think I got that right. From our industry partner, Gossinger.
Hi, thanks for coming out. I'd like to introduce Brad Gekowitz. He's one of the key players in our industrial partnership, which is the Gossinger Machine Tool Company. Right. And this has been a partnership that started maybe 5 or 6 years ago with the late Chris Rizzo, bringing this partnership to our attention. Gossinger came to us and said, "Hey, you know, we have a need. We don't have a place to show our machine tools or to train our potential employees, and we just happen to have a space.
Yeah, it's been a really good fit. God bless Chris. Wish he was here today to see this. He'd be very proud. But he brought our companies together. As he pointed out, we were in need of a local presence in this market. Our closest division or tech center is in the Seattle, Washington area. So coming to this market and teaming up with Clackamas gave us an opportunity for a local presence. And in turn, we've provided high-tech CNC machine tools for their tech center. So I think it's been a good trade. I think we both value U.S. manufacturing, trying to make all of our manufacturers more competitive, more efficient, more productive. We share that passionate goal, and we've worked together to try to accomplish that. I'm excited to be part of this new project, and thank you for having us.
All right, thank you. For those of you who are not aware of our partnership, Gossinger brings in some very expensive machine tools that cost as much as $250,000 or $350,000, and it's really the state of the industry, the kind of tooling that we simply can't afford on our own. Our students get the opportunity to actually work on these machines and learn about the technologies that they're going to be faced with as soon as they get out in the industry. And so really for us, it's about being a good community partner, but also giving opportunity for our students. And opportunity is really what we are about here. And I recently had a conversation with Mark Schmidt. Some of you may know him. I don't know if Mark's here any place or not. Is he? There, okay, right, there he is. So Mark's been around here for the better part of 40 years, and he's told me some stories recently that I had never heard about this building and about the campus here, about the machine tool program starting in Claremont Hall and then moving over here to Barlow Hall. And the building was never designed to be a machine shop, but the generation before us came here and they built this for people like me and my students for the last 2 decades. And this building is an opportunity for us to leave that legacy for the people who come behind us. And I really appreciate all of you supporting that.
If I could say one more thing, our company's involved with manufacturers throughout the country, and we deal with a lot of educational facilities throughout the country. There are a number that want to partner up because of the equipment that's brought to the table, and there's many that we just can't afford to deal with. And I can tell you what you have here is truly special. The people involved, which is what makes it possible, is different than 98% of what we run into out there. So you may not realize it, but you've got something really, really good here. So.
So wow, that's hot. Up next is Kenny Goodell. Kenny is a student of ours in the manufacturing program that is going to go on to do great things.
Thanks, Chris. Good afternoon. So, success. It's the accomplishment of an aim or a purpose. When Bob first approached me about representing the school as a success story, I realized that I hadn't thought of myself that way. Been too busy pushing on, my nose to the grind, trying to get it done. So when I thought about success, it allowed me a chance to reflect back on the accomplishments I've had and how I've gotten here. So just out of high school, I started in my manufacturing career. I worked for a company that built truck bodies, and I was an assembler to start out and a weld grinder extraordinaire. And a lot of sparks were flying there. I learned how to weld there and paint and wire trucks. And I was lucky enough to be part of that company when it just started. I was the 6th employee. So I got to see it struggle and grow up to about 50 employees. I got to experience layoffs and the machine environment, just to say it nicely. So I went on to 2008 was the first time I saw a CNC machine. And I was immediately impressed by the consistency, the speed, and the capabilities of it. And I had to know more. I had to learn how to run it. And the company I was working for allowed me to do that. I got informal training and picked up a bunch of my own. But I still wanted to know more. You know, how do you make a fixture? How do you design a part? And what's this foreign language that makes up NC programming? I had to figure it out. So, you know, I moved on to the screw machines there and started picking apart programs, but it was difficult. I read a Haas manual mill, the manual of a Haas mill, and I'm still not sure if I came out of that with more understanding and more confusion. But nevertheless, I got another job opportunity and went to another company where I learned how to run a CNC lathe and machine cast iron. Good experience. But the best opportunity from that company was when I was part of a group layoff, which resulted in the shutting down of the whole machine shop. But in that opportunity, I learned that I could go back to school through the training unemployment insurance for up to a year if I continued to go to school. Now, I'd always wanted to go back to school, and I've been thinking about it for years, but as the years went by, it seemed more and more impossible. Well, I'd been thinking about, like I said, going to school, and I'd been talking to students and people that had been actually here, and the instructors and the facility and the location, I heard good things, good reputation about them. So I decided to come here, and it was close to home. It was great. So when I first came here, the way the curriculum's set up, if you follow it, you start out in the manual machining side, which I had very little experience with, but soon learned that it's like you got to crawl before you walk. It's a good way to learn, the way they have it set up here, learning the manuals before you go into CNC. And the instructors were great. They were patient. You know, all the questions that I always wanted answered, I got answered that I couldn't figure out. And then I went on to the CNC side, and oh man, that was a blast. The way they got it set up here, you can take the classes, the operating and the programming side at the same time. You know, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. So you're on one hand, you're learning what the programs mean, what the letters, the numbers, and how to write it. On the other hand, you're learning how to program, how the machine turns that into code. Great way to do it. So about my first year into the program, I learned about the opportunity, the internship through Boeing Corporation. You have to be halfway through your program to apply for that. So my next year, I applied for it, of course, and man, I tell you, there's a lot of things, a lot of obstacles to get through. And I got in. I got the internship last summer. 7-week interview is what it is. They're looking at you. And so then I got offered a job there in October, and I've been working there since. And I've recently applied for the apprenticeship there. So thank you. But let me cut to the metal. The instructors here are passionate, they're friendly, they're knowledgeable, and thank goodness humorous, as me and humor get along real well. And you know, they've got the teachers, they've got the great facility coming in here, and without them, to be honest with you, I couldn't be where I'm at. They prepared me fantastically, so I support this college.
Thank you, Kenny. And now I'd like to bring up Brian Rose. Introduce your band members if you could. Sorry, I didn't tell you that.
They didn't tell me that. Didn't worry me. I'm Brian Rose. I play the piano. Kevin Dietz, one of our adjunct teachers, playing bass. JD. I don't even know your name. I just know JD. JD Erickson, playing sax. He's one of our students. And thank you. It's a pleasure to play for this stuff. And I'm an alum. I got a scholarship to go out here back in '74 and '75 and '76, and it was great. So, anyway.
Thank you, Brian. And now I'd like to introduce Mayor Dan Holliday of Oregon City.
Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. It's an exciting time in Oregon City, and one thing I do want to mention is that myself and the City Commission couldn't do it without a few key people, and so I want to recognize a couple folks today. Tony Conkle, our city manager, is back there in the back. Laura Turway, our community development director. And my right hand, who takes care of all the things that I should remember, is Katie Riggs, and she's back there somewhere. Wave, Katie. So there she is. Thanks. This is an exciting time, as I said, for Oregon City, and there's one other person. Yes, last night we finally, after more than 15 years of working at this, today, Rose, we annexed in the golf course property to start the first phase of what we're going to do on the other side of Beaver Creek Road, which is a key player in the synergism between Clackamas Community College and the city as we move forward. I have a tale of two people. So 38 years ago in June, two of the folks here graduated from Oregon City High School. One went on to secondary education in college and university and probably ended up with a master's or a PhD or who knows what. That's Joanne Truesdale, your president. The other one went to tech school for a while. Was not really a school book kind of person. Went into business for a little while and then joined the U.S. Army. Did 5 years. I was a microwave satellite communications specialist. And that experience is much like the community college experience. We learned what would be a 3-year degree in a little less than a year. We would do an hour or two of studying the manuals or whatever, and then we would do 4 hours of actually working on the equipment, making it work, setting it up, making it function, doing all that. And there are many kids, my son being one of them, that isn't a book learner, that is never going to be a college professor or anything like that, but works really well with his hands and understands wood and all of those kinds of things. And so that's what this really means to me is that the folks like me who we're never going to be book learners, we're never going to, I have to learn everything by falling down or having somebody run over me with a car to figure out what's going on or, write something nasty in the newspaper. But at the end of the day, what we gain from that is real life experience that is just as good as sitting down in a school and learning this. And like some of the guys in the front row, I spent more time wearing boots than I have wearing dress shoes in my career. So I spent 25 years in the electrical industry. I've worked in almost every building in downtown Portland at one time or another, and literally all up and down the West Coast. So working with your hands is a noble pursuit, and we're always going to need those folks who build things, who create things, who make things with their hands, with their machines, who are able to hook stuff up and tear it down. And I make the joke because I love The Walking Dead. But it's the people in the zombie apocalypse, it's going to be the people who can build things, who can fix cars, who can make the refrigerator run, that are going to survive. So this new edifice that we have is a testament to all of those folks who are going to learn how to actually build things, operate things, make things work, because there's that part of our society we will always need to have. So, and we're really excited about the opportunities going forward, working hard to get the rest of the industrial stuff across Beaver Creek Road and south of the college, getting it set up. So we're excited to have the college be doing this kind of building, and you'll be seeing some more projects springing out through the ground here in downtown Oregon City and around the area over the next year or two. So we're really excited to have this happen here. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor Holliday. And now I'd like to introduce Oregon City Economic Development Director, Eric Underwood.
Well, being in economic development, after hearing the mayor speak, I realized I'm not going to make it very far in a zombie apocalypse. So bear with me. I've come prepared. But I'm really excited to be here today because not only are we finally breaking ground for this Industrial Technical Center, this day marks the day that we are officially kicking off our Beaver Creek Employment Area Putting Education to Work marketing campaign. Yes. So the Beaver Creek Employment Area, you may have seen the maps over here, is just over 90 acres of vacant industrial land. It's made up of several separate parcels, and it surrounds the college here, the community college. It's an area ripe for traded sector job creation. There are many attributes of the area that make it attractive to a variety of developers and companies alike. Its proximity to Clackamas Community College and the Oregon City High School that provide crucial business support and training resources. The support of commercial infrastructure comprised of the surrounding retail and service centers here. The fact that it's within the city's enterprise zone, which incentivizes development by offering eligible companies tax abatement of up to 3 to 5 years for new capital. And its easy access, excellent traffic circulation, and the fact that it's just minutes away from key transportation assets. Once built out, the employment area is expected to create over 1,650 new jobs with an estimated payroll of over $124 million. The Putting Education to Work campaign has been created to market this area and will be strategically led with a meaningful purpose. And that purpose is to attract targeted industry to the Beaver Creek employment area by leveraging education and training resources at Clackamas Community College. These targeted industries include professional business services, food and beverage processing, advanced technology and high technology, advanced manufacturing, and software and media production. This campaign is a collaborative effort initiated by a partnership that formed just over 2 years ago. And that partnership includes the City of Oregon City, Clackamas County, Clackamas Community College, and the Oregon City Chamber of Commerce. This group is appropriately known as the Beaver Creek Employment Area Steering Committee. The steering committee began this marketing effort by committing to constantly think outside the box and make this campaign a genuine product of the community. This was accomplished by inviting community stakeholders to participate and provide input through a series of public workshops and meetings, resulting in a very positive and productive exercise. It allowed us to think bigger and broaden our scope to incorporate new and bigger ideas. And it was a critical step in crafting this campaign into its final strategic form. The campaign centers on 4 core values for development that consist of economic development, workforce training, lifelong learning, and quality of life. This is planned to be a 2-year campaign and used as an important tool for business recruitment and retention, with a primary focus being on those targeted industries that I mentioned earlier. It will emphasize the existence of the Industrial Technical Center as a crucial resource and an incentive for workforce training. As we move forward with this effort, a blue ribbon committee of stakeholders will be formed to help us expand our reach in promoting this area to prospective businesses and developers. And if you're interested, we've got a sign-in sheet right over here. So we'd be happy to find a place for you on that committee. Or you can contact my office or any one of our partners here too if you're interested. And we are always looking for champions. So if you like what we're doing, or if you like what you're hearing today from me, help us get the word out to your friends, your colleagues, your business connections, or anyone else that you feel may be interested in our efforts. With our partnerships and combination of resources with the ITC, we are establishing a niche for Oregon City that is rarely found anywhere else. I mean, let's face it, where else it's not often that an employer can find workforce training right across the street from their place of business. It is expected that this niche will enhance Oregon City's level of economic competitiveness throughout both the region and the state, and show that we are truly open for business. So we have some marketing projects that we formulated here, we brought here for you to take with you. One of those is a USB drive. It's in the shape of a key. It's in a card that we have on our table. Be sure to take one of those before you leave. It has our video that was made specifically for this marketing campaign by community volunteers. And I want to give a big thank you to the students, the film students here at Clackamas Community College, because they put this all together. Testing. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. So please, if you take the video, please share it with all your friends. Share it as much as you can. Because it not only describes the amazing potential of the Beaver Creek employment area, but it also illustrates why Oregon City is such a great place to live, work, and play. In closing, I'd like to send out a huge thank you to those of you that are here today, to our partners involved in bringing the campaign to fruition, and to the community for helping to make this day possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. And now I'd like to introduce fellow CCC alum, President Joanne Truesdale.
Thank you, Chris. And Mayor Holliday, I can't figure out on which one of us has worn better over the last 38 years. I'm hoping it's me. But I like you as a partner and as a classmate. So I want to just kind of tie things together for us here at CCC about what it's been like for the last 50 years. And I look out and I see many of you who have, like Mark and Marcus, who's next to him, been here at the college when it first began and had the idea that we really are the community's asset. Our job and our mission is to make sure that people who are not able to go away to college, live somewhere else while they study, have an opportunity to do really three important things. One is develop basic skills in case they didn't have the luxury of getting that in their life. The second is for students and people to have opportunities for career in case they do like working with their hands. And third is to provide that first freshman, sophomore level work that gets you onto the university. And now how does this tie with the manufacturing, renewable energy, GIS, all of those, is that in our world today, students don't just stop. They don't. They may think that they're going to do a 2-year degree in a career technical area, but all of our programs have to have avenues for the 4-year degree option. And the reason they do is that you never know when you change your mind and want to do something next. And the other is because industry changes. And that is the biggest thing that in the last 50 years has changed and continues to change us at Clackamas Community College is truly the advancement of technology and applied technology in the manufacturing and every single area that we have. It is that particular change that creates pressure on the people who are in the working class and the people who are in the middle class. And that's our job, is to protect those individuals by providing incumbent worker training. So that's why those employees across the street can come right over here to remain competitive, keep their business going. That's why family members will come to Clackamas once exposed, and that's why we'll take training wherever anybody wants it. We are the community in the backyard. We are the community that serves the backyard, and we are the college that serves every single person in our district with a phenomenal educational opportunity, whether they are 15, 16, and 70, all through the ages. And that's why I'm so proud to be here. I want to just one more time have a shout out for the faculty who will be occupying these individuals. So if you guys could at least, and women, raise your hand. I want to make sure that people know where you are. They are phenomenal. They're the best faculty and advanced manufacturing people in the land. And if you like these guys, you'll like everybody else at Clackamas because they're all the same way. The last thing I want to say is that there's often that conversation that says it takes a village. But really what it does is take truly our voting public, our taxpayers who work very hard to make a living, earn a living, and be satisfied with life and opportunity in Clackamas County and in our district. Without their voice in understanding what was necessary in the bond, without their thorough support to get us this bond, none of this would happen, none of this. And so I just want to say thank you to our public, taxpayers, our voters, and our taxpayers who are paying for this. Our commitment to you is to make sure that we are not just on time, on budget, but that you have a facility that you can be proud of and make sure that that facility can last 20, 30, 40, 50 years and continually be retooled to meet whatever challenges come next. And then to top it off is our foundation, which actually provides scholarships and help in support of this facility. And I don't know if Alex Crooks from our foundation was able to make it. He's the president of our foundation, but I know that Pam Bloom, Punky Scott, Scott Hammersley, all of those individuals who really help us, and they're the ones who raise over $500,000 every year to give to students. So. So lastly, I was never a good book learner. I just knew that I couldn't fail. Failure's not an option. So with that, I think that kind of typifies what I believe Clackamas County and Clackamas Community College is. We don't have failure as an option. It's not in our vocabulary. Thank you for joining us. Now what's going to happen is we're going to actually dig dirt. And as I was remarking earlier, I really appreciate Aaron, our groundskeeper, who brought the dirt that we're going to shovel and actually made it nice and neat so that we could actually shovel it. So thank you, Aaron. One thing that I want to make sure before I introduce the individuals here, we actually, when I was talking about ensuring that the taxpayers are well served, we do have a Citizens Oversight Committee. They are very active. They've been active from the start. They're volunteers, and they come from throughout the district and communities. And Citizen Oversight Committee members, please raise your hand. So we got Mayor Neely, Mr. Wheeler. Okay. Okay, and now on to the groundbreaking. We've invited just a couple supporters, and in our world that means a lot of people, to be invited and help us break ground. And so I'd like to invite right up here, and then we'll all walk over and do some digging. Michael Standridge of Sandvik, Tim Rowley of Mastercam Northwest. How about why don't we hang out right in here, and then we'll be fine. Brad Jekowitz from Gossiger, who you've met earlier. Pam Bloom, B&B Leasing, also on our foundation board. And Lowell Miles from Miles Fiberglass. Lori Olin Luchek, who will be doing our digging. She is the CEO of the company and is also a graduate of Clackamas Community College. And what we have in common is our sons graduated the same year from Clackamas Community College. So it kind of runs in our families. They've been longtime supporters of Clackamas Community College. And I'd also like to invite Mayor Holliday, Kenny Goodell, Board of Education members Chris Groner, Dave Hunt, and Jean Bidstrup, and Greg Chamoff to join us. I also, we have a board emeritus in the audience who really helped us with this bond, and I want to recognize Judy Irvin, board member emeritus, who served the college very well. Okay, so when we're done with the groundbreaking, please make sure you have an opportunity to connect with all of our partners, see what's happening, have some refreshments, talk with each other, and please, if along the way you have any questions, call me. My number is 503-594-3000. If you end up dialing 541-594-3000, you will get Crater Lake reservations. So if you call them, just remember the area code. Okay, we're ready to go.